I just got in and it was a little bit windy, and I look a little bit like I've been electrocuted. Oh dear, oh dear. Hi everyone, it's Tash and welcome to another recipe video. And today we are making good use out of that Icelandic rye bread we made last week, and we are making rye bread ice cream. And it's no churn, so if, like me, you don't have an ice cream maker, this is a great recipe for you. This was one of the most delicious things that I ate when I was in Reykjavik. And in 2015, when I developed that scaled down recipe for the Rúgbrauð, the Icelandic rye bread, I also came up with this recipe for no-churn rye bread ice cream. Because I ate both for the first time at a cafe called Cafe Loki, and I was so obsessed with it that I just had to make it here. Because you can't really find Icelandic rye bread here, and as such you can't find Icelandic bread ice cream here either. Now obviously you're going to need some Icelandic rye bread for this recipe. If you don't already have some just randomly hanging around, then click here to see my last recipe video and how to make it. You can also try using regular dark rye bread for it, but I don't think it'll be as good because Icelandic rye bread has golden syrup in it that makes it that little bit gooey and dense and has a caramelly flavour. So even though I usually advise to cut out steps whenever you can because I am a very lazy person, I would actually this time go the extra mile and make that bread first because it is so good. You will have half a loaf of bread just to enjoy toasted by itself with butter, with smoked salmon, with jam, loads of things, and then you can use the other half of the bread, well, a little bit less than half of the bread, to make this ice cream recipe. Mixing up the ice cream batter is literally going to take minutes. The only long bit is waiting for it to freeze, and you can literally sleep on that. So let's go to the kitchen and see how it's done. We're going to start with 150 grams of Icelandic rye bread, or Rúgbrauð, which I did the recipe for last week. This was the 7-hour bread, and we're just going to crumble it up. Honestly, it's a bit easier if this bread is stale, but I never ever make this bread and then leave it long enough to go stale because I love it so much, so this is still relatively fresh. I baked it yesterday. And it's about 3 thick slices to make up 150 grams, but best measure it. Lovely. Now, we're not quite done with this yet. We are actually going to pan fry this, and this is going to do 2 things. One, it's going to make sure it's completely dried out, so we don't have any additional water in our ice cream, so we won't have any ice crystals in our no-churn ice cream. And 2, it's going to really bring out those lovely rye, sticky toffee flavours as well by intensifying them in the pan. So let's do that now. Now I'm going to heat up about a tablespoonful, maybe a tiny bit more than a tablespoonful of butter. This is unsalted butter in a pan. Give it a little swirl around, make sure it's nice and bubbly. And I am cooking the butter until you just start to smell that lovely nutty toasty scent of browned butter, but we're not going to brown it too much because we don't want the main flavour to be brown butter. Obviously we want it to be the rye bread, so now that it's become a little bit fragrant and you'll be able to smell that lovely toasty smell, we're going to dump in our rye bread crumbs. And we're going to give this a bit of a stir fry until they're crispy. There we go, that just took 2 or 3 minutes and this is nice and toasty, and it hasn't quite gone too hard yet, which is what we want, but we are definitely smelling that very luxurious smell of the rye bread. So now we're going to put this on a plate and let it cool. And the reason why we're going to put it on a plate is because it will give it a wider surface area, which means it will cool down a little bit faster, and we definitely want this nice and cool before we head on to the next step. Alright, I'll see you when this is completely cool to room temperature. Now to make our no-churn ice cream, we're going to start with 600 milliliters of double cream, and we're going to whisk this up until it forms soft peaks. There we go, got a nice soft peak. Now we're going to pour in a whole can of condensed milk. Ah, look at our little snowy mountain peak of cream there, that's quite cute. And I'm also going to add a teaspoonful of vanilla bean paste. Vanilla extract works well too, but I prefer the paste in this case because it's much more intense in flavour, and you have those little vanilla bean seeds in there too. We're just going to give this a very quick whiz. Lovely. Okay, we can dispense with the whisk now. And finally, we're going to fold in our lovely toasted rye bread crumbs. And remember, this is cool because we do not want to melt our cream. And this is our ice cream base. Now all we need to do is scrape it into a freezer-proof container and freeze it for at least 4 hours, but better overnight. I'm going to do the latter. Just going to give it a little tap. Alright, no air bubbles down there, and we're going to pop this in the freezer. Well, I'm going to cover it first. And I will say good night to the ice cream, and we'll enjoy this tomorrow. Well, I did forget to take a scooping shot, but never mind. But I will do a very, very sumptuous slow-mo scoop for you, and just look at how creamy and soft and silky this ice cream is. Beautiful, and no churning. How easy was that? And it's absolutely packed full of those rye breadcrumbs, lovely. And there's some big ones and some small ones. I quite like having some of those big chunks so you have something to chew on. So when you're crumbling it up and when you're frying those crumbs, do break it up a bit, but leave a few big chunks as treats. I can't wait any longer. This is going to be a short video because I have nothing more to say and I really want to eat this ice cream. So, oh, creamy. Cheers. Oh, it's amazing. The rye bread imparts a sort of caramelly, toffee sort of notes to it, and it's got that maltiness from the rye as well. Think of a malted toffee ice cream with a bit of a cakey texture from the bread. This always makes me so happy to make. And that is literally it. Icelandic rye bread ice cream. Thank you Cafe Loki in Reykjavik for introducing me to this. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video and I hope you'll join me next Wednesday for my next one. Get the full written recipe on my blog tashcakes.com, follow me on Instagram, I'm tashcakes.taste, and find me on TikTok too. I'm tashcakes there too, but my handle is @foodinslowmotion. Subscribe and hit the notification bell if you'd like to see more. Give this video a like if you liked it to help other people find it. Comment down below if you'd like me to make anything in particular, and I'll see you guys next time. Be good, be nice, and have a good week. I need to get a second scoop.